Good evening. Sorry, was that rather a shocking good evening? It's Jenny Kovacs here. My name is Jenny Kovacs and I am affectionately known as the Queen of Being Seen. Now, not a lot of people realise this, but the reason that I'm known as the Queen of Being Seen is because your visibility, you being able to put yourself out there and you being able to stand out is actually what's important to me. So you know when you've got a friend who's particularly good at something and you say, oh my gosh, you're the queen of this. Well, Visibility Made Easy has been specially crafted just for you. And it's been crafted because I know how busy your life is. I know how busy our general work is and what we do. Hi Frances, she says, good evening Jenny. Hello. I can see you all watching, but I can often not see who you are. So do type in the box below and say hi. Your comments are showing, which is great. And if you could give me a thumbs up or a love heart, and let's hope that they're working too. Fingers crossed, and I'll see them across the screen. So thank you very much for joining and welcome. And if you've never been to one of these before or never watched one of these before, these Visibility Made Easy nuggets have been designed to help you put yourself out there in a much easier way than maybe you've been traditionally taught how to do. I always like to embrace the person behind the visibility, the person behind the business. So wow, thank you for the love hearts and thumbs up. I am truly grateful. I love to make you the centre of your visibility. So it's interesting because I was speaking to one of my sounding board clients earlier today and we were talking about this and he said, I totally get it. You're the queen of being seen, not because for me, he says, you don't have an ego. You don't have to put yourself in front of people. But for me, you're really good at helping us to get out there. And this comes from a man who makes quite a lot of money. On paper, I would say he's more successful than me. You know, he's worked for really big companies like Saatchi and Saatchi, and he is really successful in his own right. But we all need a sounding board, don't we? On this trip that we call the entrepreneurial journey, we could use a sounding board. So tonight I thought, I feel like I've been away from my community all day and away from Facebook all day. Hey, Ian says, good evening, Miss Jenny, Frances and everyone else. Such a friendly bunch. This evening, I thought I would take the time, now brace yourselves, I thought I would take the time on this Visibility Made Easy for you to ask me any questions you want at all on how to raise your visibility. Now, one thing that I want you to know is this doesn't presuppose that you don't know how to raise your visibility. This just presupposes that you want to raise your visibility even more. Now, there are lots of different ways you can do it, and obviously we're online. So online and on Facebook is just one way. Other ways you might want to do it. You might want to do it offline, so you might want to network more and get out there in the world more. It could be that you are a speaker or looking to speak and you want to get out there more. Hi Frances, hi Ali. It might be that you are thinking about doing some sort of online course, or maybe you're already doing an online course and you want to know how to get it out there more. So start to think of whatever question you've got. No question is too big, too small, and I never think of anything as being a silly question. And if you've got a question, if you could type it in the box below and let me know. Now, if you don't have a question and you just want to interact and engage, let me know what you've been doing today. What have you been up to today? And one of the questions that I wanted to start answering was something that came up in conversation 3 times today. Given that I started my day very early this morning, and at 8:30 this morning I had a call with a potential client. I got the gig, yay! So I had a call with a potential client, and this started a piece of the conversation. I also saw a post on a Facebook page, in a group actually, of which I'm party to, and there was this common thread running. So the first question that I'm going to answer, and remember this is about making visibility really easy. Let's strip away the complexity. Let's strip away the the nuts and bolts, the technology, the funnels, the how we're supposed to do it. Let's get back to you and me. You ask me your question. Let me know what it is that you do. Start with your question and we'll and we'll interact. Let me know what it is that you want to achieve, not the stuff that you don't want to achieve, and let's get that answered for you. So the first point, so after my 8:30 call this morning, I then had some client work that I went to do for a few hours, and then I went to meet one of my clients in London who I always meet face to face. It meant that I missed the lovely Namisha's event. So sorry, because I was hoping to sort of come down last minute, but it wasn't to be. And then I came here and started catching up with all the juicy posts from the Vibers. And I'm excited because tomorrow I'm going to be going to Shah Wasman's boot camp. So if you're going along to Shah's boot camp as well, let me know in the box below. So what was the first question? And remember, if you've got questions, please type, because I don't want to keep your precious time tonight. But what was the question that basically came up in various different guises 3 times today? So, hey, Misbah's on, she says. Evening, Jenny, Francelise, Ali and Alan. Evening, Misbah. Okay. So, the question that came up originated in a Facebook group that I'm part of. And basically, the person had asked how they could have more people join their online course on day one. So if you have an online course, or if you're thinking of getting on an online course or starting an online course, one thing you're going to want to know is, well, how can I get people to buy it? How can I get people on there on day one? So any online course, and I'm going to include on this online offering, online program, I know that you're going to want people to jump on from day one. And what was interesting was I responded because I can't help but see invisibility. So I responded, and the place that I actually responded to wasn't from a place of judgment or criticism or anything else. It was from something that I recognised myself. And as you guys have taken the time to show up here, hi Ivona, that's okay if you're jumping on quickly. As you guys have taken the time and effort to show up here live, I'm going to be kind of transparent with you. So I am a visibility specialist. I know so many things about visibility, either from a stage when you're speaking, from the page when you're writing, or even from a screen if you're recording, doing a Facebook Live or doing a video. But one of the things that I realised last year was there was a part of my background, because I've had an extensive training background, over 20 years, financial services, blah, blah, blah. But one of the things that I realised was, whilst I was good at training and whilst I was good at showing people how to do things, I had to ask myself an honest question. Was I really interacting? So it's been well overly quoted now that Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, whether you love him or not, always talks about jab, 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 right hook. And what he means by that is give, 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 then ask. Give, 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 then ask. Now, as a training professional, and then coming into the online training space, and having been in business for 7 years now, I presumed that the training that I was giving out was give, 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 and then I would ask. However, one thing that I overlooked was my professional training background. As a learning and development manager, as a national training manager, as a training professional that worked at a very senior level, there's some dynamics that change from the time of being in that environment to going into like a self-employed business environment. There are things that change, and there are dynamics that change. So for me, what worked when I was getting, the board on board for any big training rollout that we were going to do, when I was strategically aligning the training to fit with the company's strategy, when I was trying to persuade people within the business, whether they were managers or the people attending the courses themselves, who were sometimes managers, whether I was persuading them to come along, how I spoke to them, how I persuaded them, how I did all of those things, how I did all of that, that was, it's very different to how you do it as a business. And one of the things that I see people I see them kind of drop out of the rat race, as in they choose that they don't want to be in the rat race anymore. They don't want to do the whole corporate gig anymore. They want to start their own business, and maybe they want to train out or teach something else, and they will usually do that online. One of the things they do is they bring those professional skills that they had from before into their online business, and it doesn't work. I know this for sure because that's exactly what I did. And many of you would have seen the testimonial that I did for the lovely Shah Wasman on her Freedom Formula. Unfortunately, the doors are now closed on that. But one of the things that you would have seen me talking about was how it felt to get that first sale on an online course. Now, when I gave the response that I gave in the group early this morning, it wasn't from a place of you are not doing this in order to get people onto your online course from day one. It was from my own experience. And my own experience is that we can really overlook the mark. So I guess what I'm going to say here, and I will start to take any questions that come in a bit, but what I am going to say here is, where in your business do you bring skills from what you did before which serve your business, and where do you bring skills from what you did before which don't serve your business? Now, I know that seems a really weird question to ask, but it's one that came up a lot, because the follow-on question is, well, if you've got this offering that you want to put out there online, it might be a product, it might be a service, it might be something that you want to do, it might be something that you offer offline and live, but you want to raise awareness of it online. Brings me to the next question that I've been asked 3 times today, and I think, how can I ignore that if that's what I've been asked? So I'm just going to quickly check the comments, and then I'm going to go back and talk about this next piece. So Ruth Ellen saying good evening to everyone. So me, thank you, Ruth Ellen. Ian, France, Lise, Ali, Misbah, Ivona, and everyone. Excellent. Misbah is saying that. Okay, so you watched and you weren't intuitively attractive. I felt it wasn't for me. Okay, that's fine, Miss Burt. I'm not sure why you've put that comment on there, but that's fine. One thing that I will say is I know Lisa's work very deeply, and Lisa is all about somebody being a definite yes or a definite no. Her job isn't to persuade anybody. So it's either being a definite yes or a definite no, and you're a definite no, and that's fine by me, it's fine by you, and it's fine by Lisa too. But thank you for letting us know that. So the second question that came up today that I really feel like it needs addressing, because it's come up 3 times, is the piece about, I hear a lot of people saying I don't get social media. So for a minute, I want to talk to those of you who aren't coaches, those of you who aren't wanting to go out and make a difference in the world, those of you who aren't like consultants, those of you who aren't offering a product as a service. So let me talk just briefly for the other types of businesses that I've actually worked with and helped, and I'm going to try and give you a range of businesses. So a few of the businesses that I've actually worked with have been businesses that sell physical products. And when I say physical products, I don't mean books, I don't mean packages. Physical products like cosmetics, physical products like luxury items, physical products like creative, and I'm trying to sort of keep their anonymity, but you will know that I'm a really big fan of certain fashions and certain brands. And one of the brands that I worked with a little while ago created high-end pieces, really nice, whether it's dresses or outfits and accessories and things like that. And their price range started from around £400 and went up to £4,000. Okay, so those are the sorts of businesses I've worked with too. In terms of raising the visibility, another type of business that I don't often talk about, so another type of business was a very, very huge well-known brand that was in the beverages arena. So they sold beverages, but in order to increase their visibility, it wasn't just about them selling more of these beverages. Their visibility meant their reputation, and they needed to do that through channels other than their sales teams. So imagine that. You've got customer service teams, you've got engineering teams, you've got management teams, you've got people that aren't directly involved in the sales side of things. And a couple of clients that I've had in the last 6 months. So one was an HR consultancy business. Okay, which is kind of, yeah, okay, it's consultancy. But this person was having to go into businesses or actually get out there so that businesses would find them to be able to use their consultancy services for HR. Now, this particular business wanted to grow and get out there, and wanted to have more clients come to them. It's not your usual coaching, contracting, not your usual author, speaker type business. And the business that I spoke to this morning was talking about the fact that they didn't get social media. Now, they're the same age as me. Like, this director's the same age as me. So it was really funny to see, like, how people can dismiss social media. Now, one thing to say is that their products and services are in, I'd say, the financial services arena. Their products and services are things that their audience would absolutely get and are likely to buy from them as a result of, meeting them, or maybe going through a financial advisor, meeting them at an expo or something like that. And this person said, I don't get social media. Now, social media plays a massive part in your visibility strategy, whether you work online or offline, whether you work locally or nationally or even internationally, whether your subject is something that is widely acceptable or considered taboo. And one of the things that I think it's really important to demonstrate and talk about is why social media is a really important part of business. So once upon a time, you would have got a leaflet through the door, a newspaper or something through the door, and somewhere on the newspaper, and maybe even to this day, it will say, if you would like to advertise in this space, please call this number. You'd call the number, you'd tell them about your business, you'd give them some words to advertise, and you would pay normally anything between £60 to £400 here in the UK for that space. They would print it on the back of that newspaper or somewhere within the newspaper or leaflet or whatever. And then next time they did a door drop through people's doors, the hope would be that the people would pick up the paper and go, oh my gosh, look at that advert from that person, you, who's just posted an advert. Oh my gosh, that is so great. I really want to buy from them. Now, in this day and age, you've got to remember this. Your clients, or maybe even the clients of your clients, are maybe doing commutes to work, spending long time in the car, on the train, checking their phone. Now, you've got to think about what they're checking. Are they getting up in the morning? They're no longer reading the newspaper over their coffee. They're now on their phone checking what the news is. They're now on their phone checking out LinkedIn. They're now on their phone going to Twitter and seeing what's going on in the world of Twitter. And likely that they're on there between 6 in the morning and maybe 7:30 in the morning. So the times have changed where we would do these print publications and give them out. So what's the point of being on social media? The client I spoke to this morning could not have articulated it better than this. They said, I know that social media is out there and I know that I should have a presence on social media. I don't understand it, I don't get it, but I don't want zero presence. Because here's the thing, people might go and type in something into Google. Wouldn't it be great if your name came up and you were directed to LinkedIn or YouTube or even Facebook or Twitter or Instagram? Now, I'm not saying be on all of those platforms, but when people are doing their research, like even Google, people are looking on Google for the answers, but it doesn't mean that their exact answer might be on Google. It might be on your YouTube channel. It might be on your LinkedIn profile. It might be on your Facebook page. It might even be on your Instagram or Pinterest page. So after we had this conversation, he said, I don't claim to understand it, but actually I get the point that you're trying to make. And the point that I want to make for you guys, because I know so many people not only watch these lives live, but they watch them after the event. So many people think, well, I'm not a coach, or your business is very different to mine. And one of my mentors used to sing this song, my business is different, I do something special. You know, oh, MacDonald had a farm, think of that tune. My business is different, I do something special. Of course, we all believe that what we do is different and special. And in some respects, what we do is different and special. However, it doesn't mean that how we put ourselves out there on social media is like any different or less effective than the old way of marketing yourself or of marketing yourself offline. So when somebody says to me, oh, I've just transitioned from, offline to online and I want people to buy my stuff from day one, and they're not, there are many different reasons. But if we strip it back, it's usually because they are invisible and they don't realise it. And they'll say, yes, but I have credibility in this field and that field, and I've been doing this for years, or I've been writing blogs, or I've been putting videos out for years. And the reality check, again, to go back to myself, that I learned from myself was, how effective was that? I could put out a video that's been viewed by over 1,000 people. In fact, on Shah's promotion, one of the videos that I saw had been viewed within a few hours by over 1.4 thousand people. But that will only be an effective video for Shah if it's doing the job or the purpose that it was serving, selling more of the places on her course. And I want you to think about the same thing in your business. If you're writing blogs, if you're consistently out there being visible, if you're speaking a lot, yet you're not achieving your strategic aims and your strategic goals in your business, I'm not going to say that what you're doing is ineffective, but a bit like a Rubik's Cube, there are a couple of different tweaks. But don't tweak them all at the same time. Make one tweak, have a look at the results it's getting. If you're not getting the results that you want, this is not failure. There is no such thing as failure, only feedback. It's feedback into what you could be doing differently. And that's it. That really is it. So I hope that helps. Now, France Lee's has got a question, so I'm going to read the question. She's saying, can you help me, please? Of course I can help you, France Lees. I love to help you. I offer treatment plans, not a pack of sessions, which is very unusual for osteopaths, and many people can't see this and can't pass the usual per session type of delivery. So instead of seeing the whole lot and the aim and the results, they just count how many sessions they'll have to judge the price. How can I get out of this circle and present it so that they get it? France Lees, that, my lovely, is a fabulous, fabulous question. So here's the struggle that many of us have. When we have something that's close and dear to our heart, what we need to do is to help people to understand the value. Now, anybody who is part of the Visibility Vibes monthly subscription program, or I like to call it the Vibes, it's a program that's online, and that program has got different elements in it that are designed to help you raise your visibility. Now, in there is a recording under the part or the section that I call sales. And although this talks about how to make sales, be they high-end or otherwise, how to make sales and have a telephone conversation, I give you the reason to do the thing, but I give you what's behind it. Now, if somebody, if you're having conversations with people and they're not seeing past the usual kind of session pieces, then it's because we are not articulating enough of the value. And because the reason that this happens, as the business owner, we understand the value because we live, breathe it inside out. So I'm just going to take a slurp of my tea. We live and breathe it inside and out. We know what value it offers. We know how good it will be for people. And we often forget to tell them. So whenever you're doing a video or anything else like that, one of your call to actions could be to let people know about the packages. But you're not selling the packages. It's like a box of chocolates. You don't sell that it's got a nice cardboard box, beautiful plastic wrapping, and nice little tray sections inside which hold the chocolates in place. You talk about the benefits. You use language like, imagine how it will feel to not have maybe the thing that they're trying to get rid of, or imagine how it would feel to have layers upon layers of chocolate melting on your tongue. Imagine the flavour combinations of, coffee and strawberry and cream. Imagine the sensation as, so I know that I've given that an overly kind of graphic, because graphic description, I've been speaking about chocolates. But often, if you're selling something to your clients and they can't see past the package, it's normally because we're talking too much about the chocolate box and not enough about the chocolate and the benefits of what having that chocolate will do for them. Does that make sense? Great question. I love it. Moira, hi. Moira's saying, can you be visible enough without doing Facebook Lives? Yes, is the answer to that. Here's how. So the first thing that I would take my clients through, obviously on a deeper level, more than like a 60-second answer, is I would ask, what is your favourite medium? So Facebook Live is great on Facebook, but if you want to get out there in a different way, it could be that you use speaking instead. It could be that you use blogging. I know people that have been successful in blogging. In fact, there's a brand in America called Happy Black Woman by Rosetta Thurman. And Rosetta, I was fortunate enough to be in the same mastermind as Rosetta. Rosetta, from blogging alone, went from a job working in corporate to having her own business. And when she decided to make the leap, she actually had about 10,000 subscribers to her blog before she decided to go self-employed. But there are other different metrics, other different things that she measured. So she wanted to replace her income at her job with her income from her, from her everyday business as usual. So the reason that I explained that to you, Moira, is because there are other ways you can do it, and she did it quite successfully through blogging. So what I would ask you, Moira, to think about is, how do you like to promote yourself? Now, this is a horrible question to ask because, and you don't have to answer it on here, you can answer it in the Vibes Tribe, but many people kind of shudder away from promoting themselves. But the ugly truth is, if you've got a business, you need to promote yourself in some way. Some people prefer to do it through flyers. Some people prefer to do it through business cards and networking. Some people prefer to do it by what they write. Some people will maybe write a book and then on the back of that book, use that as promotional material. You might prefer just to do video where you can practice and do retakes and wait until you've got it how perfect you want it, and then put it out there, both on Facebook but also on YouTube, even on LinkedIn. I've put videos on LinkedIn too. So the answer is yes, you can be visible enough and you don't have to do Facebook Lives. It might not fit with your brand. The new client that works in financial services, at this moment in time, if they started doing Facebook Lives, it would just seem odd. So the best thing to do is to start to increase your visibility. And I often say, start with a consistency and do something once. Make a commitment to do something once a week, even if it's a post. And if you're only going to do one post a week or send one email a week, do it at the same time, every week. That is consistency, and then people will come back to you. So you're saying that writing is best for you. So that's the place for you to start. Make sure that your writing is compelling to your audience. The same as with France Lee's question. Don't write about the box, the actual box of chocolates come in and the packaging. Don't even write about the chocolates. Write about what they will feel, what they will see, what they will hear, what they will, gosh, my word's gone. What they will... It's slightly deeper to feel. It'll come back to me. Sorry, I've had a long day and I'm very tired. What they can experience, that's the word. What they can experience from the thing that you're speaking about. I hope that helps, Moira. Let me know if it does. And if you want to add any more underneath, then please do. The one thing that I will say is that... these Visibility Made Easy have been running since January, and they'll run until the end of March at 7 p.m. UK time, Monday to Friday. But from the 1st of April, I will only be holding one of these a week. And actually, the night that I will be holding them will be on a Thursday night. And just to give you a little bit more time to kind of get involved, I'll be holding them at 7:30. This also means that on nights that I'm running webinars or doing any masterclasses, and if they happen to run on a Thursday night, I'll still be able to come out here and see you guys, and I'll still be able to then go off and do the webinar. It also means that for those of you that watch these in different time zones, and I know that one of my school friends, my very dear school friends, who now lives in America, watches all of my Facebook lives. They never participate on these live calls, but they watch them, and sometimes they'll send me a little message privately, which is really, really lovely. So it means that whatever time zone you're in, it makes it easier for you to watch this. So I'd love you to join me from the 1st of April, 7 p.m. every Thursday. And what I want to do is I want you to allow 30 to 45 minutes so that we can get into the subject that I will share for the week around visibility, but so that you can do what you're doing now, to ask me your questions. Okay, so Maura's saying that's great. Maura, will I see you tomorrow at the boot camp? I hope so. So, well, thank you for your questions. It looks like you guys have asked some brilliant questions. Thank you so much. And if you want to continue the conversation, remember that I do have a group, the Visibility Vibes Tribe Facebook group. If you click to join, then you'll be able to go into the group. And there you can have a conversation where whatever question that you ask, whatever you want to share is just... oh, Ali, yes, I'll come back to that. Whatever you share is just, you know, kind of between whoever's in the group. It means that your family, your friends, or people that you work with or whatever don't get to see what you post unless they're in the group too. So Ali was just saying, Jenny, just checking, you said 7 and 7:30, sorry. From the 1st of April, I will be doing Visibility Made Easy, but I'll be starting them at 7:30. So half an hour later. So it'll be 7:30 and it'll only be on a Thursday, once a week only. And the reason for that later start is that I know some of you are trying to get dinner ready, trying to, you know, eat dinner. I know that I certainly struggle to try and eat my dinner and cook it and everything before. And sometimes I have to do it afterwards. So yes, from the 1st of April at 7:30 on a Thursday evening in the UK, which will be about 11 a.m. In one time zone in America, I think it's EST, and about 2 p.m. It's not going to be 11 a.m. It's going to be 11:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. PST, and goodness knows what time it will be in other parts of the world. But I would love you, absolutely love you to join me. So continue coming back. Tomorrow night I will be off the end of the boot camp and I will share some insights with you, and if we have an after party I will be sharing what I've gleaned from that evening. I could be on a train tomorrow night, so that could be interesting. So really looking forward to seeing you, and until tomorrow, until this time tomorrow, so 7 p.m. tomorrow night, I want to say bye for now. If you want a bit more, do go into the Visibility Vibes Tribe group. If you are not a Facebook Live person, if you're not a video person, hop on in there and say hello. There's been lots of engagement and interaction today, which I've absolutely adored reading. I'm catching up now because I've had a busy day. So if you would like a bit more of that, then go in there, go and introduce yourself. If you're not into Facebook Lives, then just introduce yourself by writing. That's fine. Looking forward to seeing you in there, and thank you so much for joining tonight. And remember, go out there, be seen, be heard, get visible. It's your time, and I know that you are going to make a huge difference in the world, however you do it, whether you say it, whether you write it, or whether you record it. So thank you so much. Thank you, Ali. Ali's saying have a fab time tomorrow. Kate says she's going to be there as well, so look out for her. Oh, cool. Excellent. I'm trying to wonder which Kate that is, but we'll have a quick chat offline. So thanks so much for watching. Be seen, be heard, get visible. Get out there in the world and shine. People are waiting for exactly what you do. Bye for now.